If you are tired of your life, tired of your pain, and tired of fighting alone, then stay with this story until the end. Because this story is for the person who still gets up, still answers people, still tries to look normal, but deep inside feels like something has already fallen apart. And if that person is you, then listen carefully. There was once a young man who built his life little by little. A small business, a growing name, a little respect, a little hope. Nothing came fast for him. Everything came through effort. Because he had struggled before, he believed success would finally bring peace. But sometimes, life waits until a man finally feels safe and breaks him there. Then life turned suddenly. A payment failed. A deal collapsed. Suppliers began pressing him, and the partner he trusted disappeared. Phone off, messages unread, money gone. Still, he acted like he was in control. He told people things were fine. He told his parents not to worry. But at night, the truth returned. Where did I go wrong? What if this is the end? Sometimes he stayed in the office after midnight, not because there was work left, but because going home felt harder than sitting alone with unpaid bills and silence. But the real pain was more heartbreaking. People who used to admire him changed too. Some friends became distant. Some eyes looked concerned, but carried something colder. That was when he learned a painful truth. Success gathers people, failure exposes them. One morning he looked in the mirror and barely recognized himself. He had not only lost money, he had lost the version of himself that made him feel worthy. If I am no longer the man who was rising, then who am I? One evening, unable to carry the noise in his mind any longer, he walked toward the mountain road. Near a bend in the path, he saw an old sage standing beside a cracked clay vessel. He was calm and gently smiling. The sage saw the pain and suffering in the young man's eyes before a single word was spoken. Then he asked, "What is hurting you more tonight? What you lost or who you think you have become?" That question left the young man speechless. So he confessed everything: the business, the betrayal, the debt, the shame, and the feeling that his life was over. The old sage picked up the cracked vessel and said, "Walk with me." They moved slowly along the path. As the sage walked, water slipped through the crack in the vessel. A few steps later, he stopped and pointed beside the stones. Tiny flowers were blooming, not everywhere, only there. The old sage lifted the vessel and said, "Every morning I carry water with this vessel. It cannot keep everything. It leaks on the way. And yet, look at what it leaves behind." The young man stared in silence. Then the sage asked, "Tell me, is this vessel only broken?" The young man opened his mouth, but no answer came, because suddenly the question was no longer about clay. The old sage touched the flowers gently. "A whole vessel carries water," he said. "A cracked one leaves life behind it. Because this vessel is broken, these tiny flowers are blooming. In the same way, something beautiful may still be happening inside you, even through your brokenness." Then the old sage turned and looked directly at him. "Just like this vessel, you are looking only at what has been lost," he said. "You see the crack, and you think everything is over, but you do not see what your brokenness may still be feeding." The young man stood frozen. The old sage continued, "Your pain is not only business loss. You are grieving the death of the image you built around yourself. You loved the man who was rising, the man people admired, the man who made his family feel safe. And now that image is dying." A tear slipped down the young man's face. The sage stepped closer and said, "When money left, you called it loss. When identity left, you called it the end. But just as this cracked vessel still gives life to these flowers, your brokenness may also be making room for something truer, calmer, and stronger inside you. The young man's breathing changed. Then the old sage said quietly, "You are not afraid of debt. You are afraid of becoming nobody in your own eyes." That line went through him like a blade. That night did not repair his life, but it shattered the lie that his life was over. The next morning, he stopped pretending. He sold what he could, closed what could not survive, and took a small job. It was not the life he wanted, but it was honest. And honesty became the first thing that started rebuilding him. Months passed. He worked, stayed humble, and kept moving. Now he had something stronger than pride. He had truth. Little by little, a different kind of man formed inside the broken one. Calmer, clearer, humbler, and harder to shake. And one day, he finally understood, not everything broken must return in its old form. Some things become stronger by becoming truer. What broke you may wound you deeply, but it does not get to write your final sentence. You may broken, but not finished yet. If this story spoke to you, comment, "I am not done yet." And if you know someone who looks strong on the outside but is silently falling apart inside, share this story with them. Subscribe to Epic Inspire Stories for more stories that heal the mind and strengthen the heart.